Have you ever wished that you could be transported into another realm? Did you ever think that the story was a Christian story?
Throughout the Chronicles of Narnia, there are multiple examples of archetypes.
It is full of symbols and Christian allegories, just like Beowulf. These symbols and allegories are how one relates to each book and movie, which makes these stories intriguing.
Beowulf has qualities that relate to each of the four main characters in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
In both the Chronicles of Narnia and Beowulf, there are several symbolic archetypes. These archetypes are hidden to the simple-minded and are revealed after careful thought. The threshold is the most important symbolic archetype in the Chronicles of Narnia. Without this gateway to a new world, there would be no story. The wardrobe is the gateway the children take from England into Narnia. In Beowulf, he must take a threshold to kill Grendel's mother. He goes down deep into the lake, which is viewed as entering hell. This can also be viewed as an underworld archetype, where he is entering hell and fear death may come to him. Another symbolic archetype is the White Witch's castle as the underworld. It has a dark, gloomy look that sets fear into anyone that looks at it. Her powerful magic makes everyone in the land fear her because of the death she brings along. In her courtyard, she has many statues of people and animals that she has turned to stone with her dark magic. It has a dark look that can make anyone run for their lives. The Chronicles of Narnia represent one main symbolism as an allegory to Christianity. The White Witch is a symbol of the ongoing evil in the world, but also the devil itself, while Aslan is Jesus. Aslan is killed and then resurrected just like in the Bible, while the White Witch is ultimately killed. There are 4 Gospels in the Bible, while there are 4 children in the movie. The 4 children believe in Aslan and help him defeat the White Witch. It is ultimately Lucy who shares the idea of another world and the wardrobe to her other siblings, which made them believe in the end.
Lucy Pevensie, also known as Lucy the Valiant, is the most prominent character in the Chronicles of Narnia. Being the youngest of the 4 heroes in the movie, she exemplifies the female traits of curiosity and youthfulness. These traits embody the archetype of a female hero. Lucy can also be categorized as the healer. She becomes the healer when Santa Claus gives her a healing elixir, which is used to save Edmund's life after the White Witch stabs him at the end of the movie. Beowulf, on the other hand, would not be classified as a healer. His main goal is to kill Grendel, and eventually Grendel's mother and the dragon. Lucy's journey starts when she enters the threshold while the kids are playing hide and seek. Here, she finds the wardrobe in the back of an unlocked room. She walks in expecting to hit the wooden back, but then falls onto the snow and into Narnia. The first time Lucy entered into Narnia, she met Mr. Tumnus. He told Lucy about all the horrible things that the White Witch had done to the land. Concerned, she travels back to her family and tries to convince them to help, only for her 3 other siblings to tell her she has a very active imagination. This represents the hero's setback. In the movie, all 4 kids eventually travel to Narnia. Lucy leads them to Mr. Tumnus. When they get to his house, they find out that the White Witch has taken him prisoner. This becomes Lucy's main motive for defeating the White Witch. Lucy soon makes friends with Mr. and Mrs. Beaver as well as Aslan. The climax of the movie is when they fight the White Witch, become the sons of Adam and the daughters of Eve, fulfilling the prophecy, dethroning the witch, and restoring peace.
Queen Jadis, or the White Witch, is the main antagonist in the Chronicles of Narnia, who curses the land by conjuring up a 100-year winter. She embodies the archetype of the villain by showing traits of greed and dominance. Jadis coined herself the Queen of Narnia, while in reality she is no such thing. Her ideals parallel those of the children's, being that they reflect the misuse of power, while the children wish to liberate the land of her clutches. A connection can be drawn between the White Witch and the dragon from Beowulf, as they each show elements of greed and villainous actions. Jadis also could be categorized with a bully archetype by her intimidating interactions with Edmund. She first gains Edmund's trust by feeding him his favorite food, Turkish delight, and allowing him to think that he could become the king of Narnia. However, she gradually turns foul and holds him prisoner, going as far as to hit him. These actions relate to Grendel's actions from Beowulf, such as when he terrorizes Harrett Hall and when he kills the citizens there. Jadis also shows aspects of the temptress archetype. Her appearance captivates Edmund, and she is able to trick him into doing her bidding, which in this case is walking into a trap. Her sincere intentions are to execute all sons of Adam and Eve, as a prophecy states that 4 humans will take the throne, stripping her of her power and killing her.
This story wouldn't have any plot without the use of Edmund, the third oldest child out of the 4 children. We can see Edmund as a literary foil to Beowulf in many ways. First, he is selfish. He decides to cooperate with the witch for power. This is definitely the opposite of what Beowulf was as a king. Not only that, but Edmund goes against the ways of love. The loyalty between his family is broken, betraying his family by leaving the beaver house and telling the witch they are here in the land, which causes her to go to the extreme to exterminate the family. He can also be classified as rebellious, not wanting to be part of his family and choose his own path. Beowulf, in contrast, would always stay true to his followers, never letting anyone threaten, harm, or betray them. After a while, he decides to make a great change to himself. He decides that dealing with the witch is not who he is. Like Beowulf, Edmund starts to realize he can rule with an iron fist with the rest of his family. Finally, family comes first, and he must provide hope with having great strength and his past accomplishments. Overall, he is able to go from a literary foil Beowulf to someone who could be the next Beowulf.
Aslan, the great lion and the high king of Narnia. Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia is the embodiment of honesty, confidence, compassion, and appreciation, demonstrating his qualities of being a loved and respected king of the land. Aslan is exemplified by the archetypes of the hero. As a hero, Aslan is on the move to return to his kingdom to end the rule of the White Witch. He risks his life for the chosen children to ensure their safety, and enters and leaves the world of Narnia. This is comparable to the heroic acts of Beowulf, and how Beowulf sacrificed himself while fighting the dragon to ensure the safety of his people. The Chronicles of Narnia shows evidence of having religious symbolism to the Christianity faith, and this is displayed by the strongest in Aslan. As stated in a letter by C.S. Lewis, the story of Aslan as a retelling of the actual incarnation, crucifixion, and resurrection. As Aslan is loved by all in the land, from humans to dwarves to even unicorns, Aslan is meant to help his followers discover their own truths, to guide them on a path that holds true to oneself.
The Chronicles of Narnia have many symbolic Christian representations, from characters to creatures. The allegory to the Christian faith is woven into Narnia, as it is also in the stories of Beowulf.
Beowulf and the Chronicles of Narnia are great examples of stories with a powerful meaning and many archetypes. Furthermore, the White Witch and Aslan are foils to each other's archetypes when symbolizing the devil and God.
Lucy and Edmund are working archetypes that set the whole story into motion. Because of archetypes, people will be able to relate to any story better. Without Lucy, the siblings would have never found Narnia, and without fate, Beowulf would have never found Denmark.